Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss the resource and development chapter, the rest of the part. I have made already 3 videos on this chapter. The first, second and third video I have discussed the matters like definition, classification, usefulness, all these. Today I will make the video on that resource planning and the land resource, so that the chapter will be finished. The last part of this chapter is soil. I have discussed in a completely separate video in my channel, so I am not discussing soil today. I will discuss only the resource planning and the land resource. You see, point wise it will help you. See, in this chapter the first was definition, what have already been discussed. The next is coming classification, then is resource free gift of nature, the next indiscriminate use and its effect, next one is planning due to uneven distribution, sustainable development and agenda 21. Up to this I have discussed. Today I am starting with the resource planning in India and its conservation. Then a book will come which is related to resource conservations or sustainable development, that is Small is Beautiful. And then it is coming the land resource. Among land resource you will get some sub points like importance, distribution of land resource, utilization, land use pattern, land degradation and conservation. And the last part of this video is soil of this chapter. On soil I have made a separate video. So today I am discussing only this one, that resource planning in India and its conservation, Small is Beautiful and the land resource. Okay, let's start with what is resource planning. Planning, first of all, what is planning? Planning is the widely accepted strategy for judicious use of resources. Now, plan basically, that means basically the resource planning is the strategy for using the resources in a judicious way. That is resource planning. And why it is necessary, I have discussed already in my previous video, that if we will use the natural resources indiscriminately, then one day it will finish and all the civilizations will be in problem. We are in problem already, so we are searching for alternative sources of energy and resources. That is why the resource planning and conservation is necessary. Now, if you consider our India is rich in natural resources, but the distribution is uneven. You will get some areas which are very rich in natural resources, but those areas may not developed economically so much, and in some areas you will get the enough economical development, but there is not enough natural resources. This kind of example is already given in your book, so we can read out from this your book, that the states like Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh are rich in minerals and coal deposits. Arunachal Pradesh has abundant water resources but lack in infrastructure development. So water is a renewable resource, and we can use it in many ways, especially for generating hydropower or energy. But for that we need the technology. Technologically, Arunachal Pradesh is not so advanced, so we are not able to use this resource fully, to full extent. So we have to improve. We have to need more planning and more technological accessibility on this. Then another example, the state of Rajasthan is well endowed with solar and wind energy but lack of water resources. The cold desert of Ladakh is relatively isolated from the rest of the country. So the Rajasthan is having the enough solar and wind energy, as it is a bare land, and it is having sand. Third desert is there, so the temperature rises so quickly in the daytime, and wind is also blowing here effortlessly. So the available natural renewable resources are solar energy and wind energy. If we can use it with the improved technology, it can be developed more. Another one, the example, which is Ladakh, which is not so available for the natural resources, but it can be a good spot for tourism industry. Now there is lack of water, lack of infrastructure and the vital minerals. Apart from this, if the good infrastructure can be made with the help of, if the availability of transported water can be given, then it can be a good tourist spot, which is very important. Tourism is important developmental activity for any country. The another one, so from very regional level, the state level or national level, planning is necessary. Without planning we cannot develop anything. Now, how the resource planning in India? There are three steps. Step number 1, that is identification and inventory of resources across the region of the country. This involves the surveying, mapping, qualitative and quantitative estimation and measurement of the resources. So first one is you have to identify, you have to choose. The next one, you have to apply the technology to this raw materials or the raw natural resources, so that it could be groomed for human use. Evolving a planning structure endowed with appropriate technology, skill, and the institutional setup for implementing resource development plan, and then the matching of the resource development plan with the overall national development resources. Okay, so first one you have to identify, second one you have to apply the technology, third one you have to apply to the spots, because the resources are distributed unevenly. So whatever you are planning and implying the technology, you have to imply it on spot where it is. Then only we will use judiciously all over the country. Now, the availability of resources is a necessary condition for the development of any region, and we are having natural resources. We are blessed that in our India is having much more natural resources. We need more improved planning and technology. Now, there are many regions in our country that are rich in its resources, but they are not so economically improved or developed, and many other regions where they are developed enough but not having much more natural resources. So as we are discussing, the judicious use of resources is very important, and the planning is also important. And for that, that we are not thinking today only, that is started from earlier, from previous to our independence. Already the thinkers started thinking on that, how it could be more, how it could be used more judiciously. And on that thinking, on that thought, Gandhiji have made a statement that there is enough for everybody's need but not enough for anybody's greed. That means, if, like we said, that a society is divided into have and have nots, so those people who are under have category, who are powerful, who are rich, who are doing business, if they are using the resources indiscriminately for their benefits only, economical benefits only, then the environment will be damaged, then the natural environment will be damaged. So the proper planning is required. And one more thing, what Gandhiji said, that he was against the mass production. He always favored the production by the masses. so that employment generation could be done. So Gandhiji, not only the freedom fighter, he was a philosopher also. So he thought about all these matters and he made those statements which is very popular and which should be followed for our natural environment. Now, resources are vital for any development, and if we are doing that, like I am saying, irrational consumption, overutilization, then what will happen? Only we will face the consequence only. We, human being, human society will face the consequence only, like climate change, like global warming, like flood, drought, or many other conditions, famine conditions. Actually, we will be affected by all this. So, there should be a proper resource planning, its utilization, as well as the conservation of resources for future generation. And on that, there was a book that is Small is Beautiful, written by Schumacher in 1974, and following the same philosophy of Gandhiji, that is, there should be enough resources for everybody's need, but not for anybody's greed, because there is no limitation in greed. Now, another one concept, what is in 1987, the report introduced in the concept of sustainable development, and it was entitled in a book that is Our Common Future. So, our means human society, not only for a region or a nation, it is the book for all in international level. Our common future, if we are exploiting the nature recklessly, or we are using or wasting or damaging the all the resources, natural resources, then what will happen? What will be our common future? So this is the book. And another one, what I have already discussed, that the Rio de Janeiro Agenda 21 Treaty on Sustainable Development have been signed for over by 100 heads of the nations. So all these are the, you can say, the result of the concern about the resource planning, resource development, and its conservation. So today, up to this, in my next video I am discussing land resources. Thank you.